In today's video, we're going over 8 things you should know before trying foam rolling.
Welcome to the circle, it's the winning team.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wealthy Performance channel, where our mission is to help you invest in your health today to live a better tomorrow. Let's not waste too much time. Let's get into these 8 things you should know. And in the rest of the video, we'll actually go through it and show you how to foam roll. We'll break this lengthy video up into sections. So if you don't want to watch the whole thing, I'll include links to where you can get specific targeted foam rolling exercises. First things first, what is foam rolling? So foam rolling is actually a form of self-massage in which the muscle is rolled and compressed utilizing a circular foam rolling device. There is mounting evidence that foam rolling is not only worth your time as a recovery tool, but also worth your time as a performance enhancer. Number 2, what does foam rolling actually do? So foam rolling actually, in addition to compressing the muscle, which has been shown to improve recovery, it hydrates our fascia, which it's easy to think about the fascia as almost a wetsuit that surrounds all of the muscles. So this protective wetsuit, known as the fascia, is made of collagen and water, and its job is to transport oxygen, nutrients, and take away cellular waste. A properly hydrated fascia helps treat inflammation and prevent injuries. Number 3, what are the benefits of foam rolling? Foam rolling has been shown to reduce chronic low back pain, decrease stiffness, increase range of motion, increase blood flow, we talked about it, fascia, blood flow, hydration, aids in recovery post-workout, reduces delayed onset muscle soreness, improves muscular performance and flexibility when we pre-roll, which we'll get into in a second. And then of course, we're gonna rehydrate and replenish our nutrients. Number 4, how do you use a foam roller? Again, the video is going to show more in depth of how to use a foam roller. And in my experience, it's not the best to foam roll your muscle just back and forth in sweeping motions. It's more effective to concentrate on the area where you might have a knot or a source of tenderness, pain, and really focus on that area using small motions. There's actually a book called The Melt Method, which is a hands-off treatment, self-treatment, said to alleviate chronic pain, release tension, and restore muscle mobility. But it's a great book. I highly recommend this book, and it's the techniques that the author teaches is so easy that it can be done while you watch TV. Number 5, when should I use a foam roller? Pre-exercise or post-exercise? The answer is actually both. So pre-exercise, in combination with a dynamic warm-up, it is shown to increase athletes' performance in speed, balance, power, and agility. And post-exercise, we talked about how much it benefits your recovery. And those who foam rolled post-exercise were shown to slightly increase their performance into the following workout the next day. Number 6, how often and how long should I foam roll? And I found the answer is that at least 20 minutes once a day, maybe more if you're, depending on your level of activity. So elite athletes, you probably want to do more than 20 minutes. Number 7, is it okay to foam roll every day? The answer seems to be yes. Daily foam rolling is recommended even on off days. Number 8, we're comparing foam rollers versus other forms of self-massagers. So again, there are other forms of doing muscle release and self-massaging, such as basic softball. There's going to be a vibrating ball called the hypersphere ball. A Theragun helps a lot. So again, there are other forms of doing muscle release and self-massaging, such as basic softball. There's going to be a vibrating ball called the hypersphere ball. A Theragun helps a lot. All of these seem to be effective in helping in aiding recovery as well as enhancing performance. There was one thing that didn't seem to be that effective, and I actually have one, I don't know where it is, but it's one of those sticks that you roll. And actually the tendency was found for foam rollers to offer larger effects on recovery than the bar stick massage roller. So maybe save your money and not buy those and get a foam roller. As a bonus, we're going to get into our favorite foam rollers, and there's so many to choose from, right? There's some with spikes and grids, there's some with ridges and grooves, all hoping to help improve your recovery. It doesn't seem to matter really. My personal favorite is just the basic high density foam roller, and even second favorite among all the other foam rollers, I'm going to go with the softer foam roller, just basic. And what matters more so is technique. Again, right? We want to not use big sweeping motions. You see people on the track or in their facilities just going back and forth. not bad, but not ideal. We want to find spots of tenderness, soreness, knots in our body, and really focus on small movements in those areas until the pain goes away. So I'll begin my foam roll session with the foam roller laying long way parallel to my spine. I'll just stretch my shoulders, try to get some balance here, get some good movement, a little rocking back and forth, warm those muscles that line the spine.
Baby, you the honey, got me leaning for a sip. I'm in on a private, we gon' get it how we get. I just know your diet probably better with me in.
Next, I'll go ahead and switch the roller across my back, slowly moving it down my spine, trying to create space in between each vertebrae. And if I find a tight spot, I just sit there, rock, big ass head.
Took it to the chemist, it don't take much, Girl, you know you honey till it tastes, yeah.
So I'm going to be targeting my low back with these next exercises. You can see I have the foam roller laying perpendicular to my spine. I'm just going to pull my knee to my chest and let gravity do the work for me. Not pulling too hard, not straining. Next, I'm going to slowly transition into some gliding exercises. What happens sometimes is our muscles and nerves get stuck, and instead of working together, they work against each other. So I'm going to help them work together by just bringing my knee up and extending my legs straight up and back down. Straight up, back down. Only bending at the knee joint. Next, I'm going to really target the low back with some rotational exercises, help the fluidity of my low back. So I'll raise both knees up, I'll bend one knee over the other and rotate. Bring them back up, rotate to the other side. This takes a little bit of core strength, but is amazing for your low back. Next, I'm going to target my IT band by starting down towards my knee and pushing the blood back up to my heart, moving slowly along the IT band. If you could tell by my face right now, I think I found a spot, and I'm just going to play with that spot. Essentially, I'm going to stay there, move it back and forth in small movements, just working out the knot. I'm going to have it sped up here because it's in slow-mo, but if you could see, I really take my time once I find a spot. I don't rush, I'm still there, and then I begin to move back up the leg. So before switching legs, I'm going to go ahead and start working on my quad with kind of the same method as the IT band. I just slowly move up and down the quad, and when I find a spot, I just sit or just do small movements.
Let it fall away. Let it fall away. Baby, you the honey, got me leaning for a sip.
Next, I'm going to move into my inner thigh or adductor muscle. You can see I've angled the foam roller so that it hits the spot perfectly. Again, letting gravity do the work. I'm kind of chilling, watching boxing, moving my leg up and down, just playing around and searching for a tight spot.
Has been like a paintbrush, yeah. Took it to the chemist, it don't take much, yeah. Girl, you know you honey till it
Next, I'll go ahead and target that posterior chain, the back of the legs. See my leg is kind of rotated in. In a second, I'll rotate it outwards, more towards the IT band. Again, I'm moving it up and down my hamstring, the back of my leg. If I find a spot, I sit on it, I massage it. If this is too easy, oh, smoky. If this is too easy, you can go ahead and try it with the softball, because sometimes the foam roller doesn't get all the way in your hamstrings. Next, we'll go over how to increase ankle mobility and flexibility using a foam roller. I place one foot on top of the other while I lay back and allow gravity to apply pressure. I then move in small movements until the knot is found. I might begin to switch up my movement. So instead of going back and forth, I might do ankle circles with my foot. Then to add even more variation, I might try a rocking motion back and forth, just working that knot. Of course, we have to do the other calf, so we'll switch, place the other foot on top. Still laying back the whole time, watching TV. So as a bonus, I know it's not a foam roller, it's going to be trigger point release therapy, where I'm using a softball. You see the tennis ball there in the frame. The tennis ball works just as good. What I've done is place the softball at a nice spot kind of towards the bottom of my neck, almost at my trap muscles. I'm just going to move my head in a figure 8 motion. I found a spot that's tight and tense. Again, I'm just playing around, working the spot out.
You know me better when you coaching me. Help me keep my focus on the present. Colors make sense when you blend it. Girl, you know this shit.
So we're going to use that softball to really target one of the major muscles that we use when we run, our glutes. Yes, this is painful, but definitely worth it. You see, I found the spot, and again, I'm just going to sit there and do small movements, letting gravity do all the work for me.
Let it fall away. Let it fall away.
So after I feel that spot has been worked out, I'll go ahead and move it on down the posterior chain to my hamstring.
Let it fall away.
I really prefer a softball for my hamstring over a foam roller. But I think that might come with experience. I may have worked so much on my hamstrings that I need a little bit more intense therapy. So as you begin your foam rolling journey, you decide what is comfortable for you and how much intensity you need. Now I'm going to use a softball once again to target some of my back. My same method applies kind of throughout this video. I'm found a spot that has some tenderness, has some soreness. I'm just going to put the softball there and work big movements with my arm, just targeting the spot, trying to get some movement, some flexibility. So what you'll notice is that as I'm moving my arm, I just change up my motions a little bit. I try to hit the spot in different ways. I'll go up and down, I'll do some rotational things for my shoulder, move down a little bit, and repeat. If you've made it this far, I think you deserve a special appearance from my boss. I went ahead and flipped over so I can target my chest now that I've done my back. A nice tip here is if this is too much pressure, you can go ahead and lean against a wall, standing up, and do the same thing. Of course, we can't forget about our feet, so I'm going to use the softball to perform some trigger point therapy on our foot. I do have this in a dorsiflexion video as a part of rehab, but it's a little bit easier to view thanks to my handy cameraman. So I'm going to begin just rolling my foot back and forth, maybe identifying any sort of knots that might be in there. I'll move on with my feet, my toes on the ground, and rolling the heel against the softball. Once I've worked out my heel, I'll go ahead and place the heel on the ground and do the same with the toes. I'll try to have the softball slightly under my big toe. And while the heel is planted, I'll just rotate back and forth, back and forth.
Been like a paintbrush, yeah. Took it to the chemist.
But here's a good lesson. I can tell I found a spot because my feet are curled over. My toes are curled over. That's not what we want. We actually want them extended out. You see how I extend them? That means I'm working through a spot right there. That's more so what we want. Feet spread, toes extended.
Let it fall away. Let it fall away. Let it fall away.
So that's it for this video. If you plan on taking up foam rolling or you already are foam rolling, go ahead and let me know which one of these is your favorite. If you have a special one that I didn't mention, maybe it vibrates and has, who knows? Just let me know in the comments below. If you found any value in this video, it would really help our channel grow if you just gave us a thumbs up, a like, smash that like button. And that's it. We'll see you in our next performance enhancing video. As always, stay wealthy, keep it G. Yay!